First one to, I reckon, it's got to be Tyson. Big game on the weekend. Obviously, it's thrilling right till the end, but do you think that will impact you guys heading into this big game, or has it been alright in the first couple of trainings?
No, I think we'll be totally fine. Obviously, late in the season, but big games calls for big moments, and we were more than ready to take Blue Eagles to 120 to get the job done like we had to.
What was the partying like afterwards? Much celebration in the club rooms?
Sensible celebrations with obviously grand final in mind for the weekend. Yeah.
Also, still on you as well. It's been a big tenure for Ben Moore since he started back in 2018 at the club. Got him promoted in State League 2 back then, and then finally got him into the NPL where he's been wanting to get them since they were 19 years ago. How has the club been this last couple of weeks, heading into that big game last week as well? What's the vibe been around the club?
You could definitely feel the pressure around the place, but that's not something we were going to shy away from. And I think on Saturday, Arvo, once we did get the win, and then once the Burks game was finalised as well, you could see how much it did mean to Ben and everyone involved who has been there for the length of the full journey. So it was a real special moment for myself to see that, and for the club. It was awesome.
For you, Nick, a big game as well at home on the weekend. Almost got done by Salisbury United slightly, but managed to come back and get the win on aggregate. How has that game there? How has that made you guys feel heading into this big one this weekend?
Oh, definitely. I think obviously leading into that game, we didn't want to be complacent. Obviously going 2-0 down at half time, puts a few little weary legs obviously for the group, but we've done it all year in relation to obviously our demeanour and obviously how we go about our games, and got ourselves back in it, held on strong, obviously leading down to 10 men, and obviously now we look forward to the grand final against Playford.
Nick, I was fortunate enough to be at the game where you wrapped up the automatic promotion, and after the game, had you all in the change rooms, you're adamant you wanted to win this game and get to this game and win it. How much would it mean to you to do the whole lot this year and win everything?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, leading into it, we had our goals this year to win the league, and I personally, am one for obviously the final series and being known as champions. So for us, our goal was to obviously get promoted and get the club back to where they belong. But at the same time, you want to finish off obviously on a high and do the double.
Tyson, you guys, you went to Birkalla's ground and unfortunately lost that night. They will still be burning for you guys to want to get the result this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it was not that long ago, so it's still recent in our memory. And just like we had Blue Eagles, we hadn't beat Blue Eagles all season. Then we played them in the Cup before the season started as well, and we saved our only time to beat them out of 5 games for the last game when it mattered most. So hoping that we can recreate that this weekend for the grand final.
How many times have you guys rewatched that equaliser right at the end, and also that commentary moment from Alicia Karachi? How many times have you guys rewatched that moment?
Yeah, we've definitely watched that plenty of times. The one that was circulating around the dressing room was our 3rd goal. So the Penendez header from the Braden French cross. Frenchie was pretty chuffed with his cross on that one, and he showed the boys plenty of times on Saturday night, which was good to see. Yeah.
Nick, of course, you've already been promoted for a few weeks now. Does that affect the way you go into this grand final? Of course, both teams now promoted, but you sort of had that, I guess, a bit of extra preparation knowing you're promoted and there's not too much pressure, but still with the trophy on the line.
Oh, of course. Obviously, being promoted is fantastic. We had that one common goal all year, but I don't think we could shy away from obviously our main goal, and that's being champions of obviously the State League 1, and finish things off obviously in the right way, and obviously from there taking that on to the NPL next year.
Tyson, you did manage to get the top spot on the ladder during the year, so getting the win in the finals, how important would that be just to even the ledger a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think also league champions sounds pretty sweet. So that would obviously be our goal, to end up league champions for the year, for sure.
Tyson, you guys had Christos Penendez come over from Olympic, where he spent a lot of time. He's a lethal goal scorer. He missed a few games at the start of the year, but he's been very impressive since he came into the squad, hasn't he?
100%. Just I think he ends up with 16, 17 goals after missing the first 5 games, and just what he brings outside of his goals as well, his link-up play, his leadership. being a character in the dressing room as well. He is a top player, and we were very lucky this year to have him on board.
Nick, one for you. The depth you guys have in your midfield is pretty extraordinary. You haven't had a few top-class players for a few weeks, but you still managed to get results. This week's going to be interesting having a full-strength team, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, spots up for grabs. 16 spots there. So, I think that shows obviously the group itself and how we've all stood together. Obviously, we've got some really young boys that have really nurtured and grown this season, and it's great to see them obviously last week dig their heels in and get the result against Salisbury to get us into the final.